You people are lucky I didn't go to fucking Rada's home and fucking kill him. You people are playing a fucking thing fucking on thin ice right now.
Hey folks, I'm Dutch Doll. I'm the host of Dutch Doll Discussions. How's everybody doing today? I know it's been a while since you've seen me. Hurt my back the other day working on the motorcycle. I just got back from the shop after 9 weeks of being in. And of course I had to come home and I had to do some repairs to it. And I twisted out my back and I couldn't walk for about 7 days now. I've been on a heating pad, but I'm getting better and better in every day in every way. Yes, everything is nice. But I've got a couple emails, a couple messages about this, a couple DMs. Is this a threat? Well, it sure sounds like a threat, doesn't it? To the average person. But to a law enforcement official or to a district attorney, is that a threat? Stay tuned and find out.
I wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Smell the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself. But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone, and the laughter in the holes and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be worse fit in the mind. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
That particular clip was sent to me, cut and everything, like nicey. You look at the whole context of the conversation to decide if it's a threat or not. But if I'm going to take that statement alone, if you went to a department and filed a report on that, you'd be wasting your time. It's not a threat. It's not specific enough. I say that word very slowly because in Brooklyn we have a tendency to say Pacific. It's not specific enough. It's not detailed enough to be a threat. You're lucky I am not going to his house to kill him. Well, he's clearly stating he's not going to do it. So it is not a threat. Now, could it be considered harassment? Enough of those statements being made could be considered harassment. But you have to get to a district attorney who kowtows to the complainant's wishes. Like, a sympathetic district attorney or an assistant district attorney. Now, we have to look at the history of the individual, the history of the context of the conversation, what happened, was it a traumatic experience, this is an emotional response elicited by that experience. I don't know. Considering the person he talks about works for the emergency service unit, fire department, or and I'm a cop, well, retired cop, and we know how cops feel about firemen, EMTs. When I had my heart attack, I drove myself to the hospital because I didn't want the EMTs to come get me because EMTs are covered under the fire department. And I didn't want no fucking firemen saying they saved my life. I drove myself to the hospital. God damn it, I'm an Irish cop. My heart is a coffin nail. But anyway, this is a threat? No. Sorry. May get your fireman friends. Tell you the same. There's a lot of firemen that were cops first and rolled over. Tell you it's not a threat, buddy. I'm sorry. But to average Joe civilian, it may seem like a threat, but it's not. He's not being specific enough. I'm not going to come to your house Friday night at 9 o'clock with a handgun and shoot you and your entire family. That's pretty goddamn specific. Yep. That's a threat. Yep. I'm coming to your house now, or when I see you, I'm going to put a bullet in you. Yeah, that's a threat too. Or I'm going to cut you from, stem to stern. That's a threat. Yeah, well, this is just harassment. So, the person who's featured in is watching. You're clear, buddy. It's not a threat. At least from this law enforcement official's eyes. This retired. This humble servant of the law. This public servant. This servant of the law which governs the public. That's, yeah. It's not a knock on you. It's just giving you peace of mind. Look at the context in which it was given in. He's clearly in emotional distress. He's all hyped up. And most crimes, when it's murder or assault like that, is a crime of passion when somebody is in emotional distress. And that's all looked upon the jury and the district attorney when they present charges. Obviously, he was having a bad day. I mean, I'm not defending him. I'm just giving you the law the way it is. I had at least 3 emails about this, almost with the same exact timestamps for the clip, which was, unless somebody has 1 email and 2 sock emails that they're sending me this stuff, but it's not a knock on you, buddy. I'm not starting a war with you. I'm just giving you clearance and clarification. That's it. And what is this all over? This is all over YouTube reputation, who wants to be the alpha dog. Really? This is... Listen, I fell into this too. But then I took I took time to think about it. I took it and I put it to my work experience. I worked in gang homicide. We gang motivated or related murders. And that's all it is. Who wants clout? Who wants this? Who wants that? Does it really fucking matter? It only matters when you're defending yourself against an allegation. But besides that, look at the source of the allegation too. We gotta think about that. Where does it come from? The stability of the person that allegation's coming from. Their track record. It's all things that need to be looked at when you're looking at a threat. Oh, somebody's knocking you. So they knocked you. Big fucking deal. Let's pick up our big boy pants, tie our shoes, and put our belt on, and move on. Notice I'm not moving my shoulders because I'm in a lot of fucking pain right now, and I'm going to lean back against my heating pad. So, we're going to continue in a couple seconds. Alright, that was a little bit longer on the heating pad than I expected, and it was just the heating pad. It was a hot shower and a shave. I feel a lot better. But we go on in this subject. So he said something, and she said something, and he called me a name and whatnot. What are you going to get out of this? I mean, seriously. Prior bad acts cannot be used to convict a person in court. But they can be used to solve a crime. To explain motive. To track a suspect. To narrow an ID on a suspect down. Like the person who is being harassed, not the harasser, the harassee, something happens to them, and it was an assault that can't be explained, or, the perp wasn't caught at the scene. I mean, you would go back and look for a motive for why he was being, and obviously this person has an axe to grind with that one. So he'd be a suspect we'd look at. Last night I received a text message from a YouTuber. I'm not sure if she's a sub or anything. Talking about the Savannah, Georgia kidnapping, and they were looking for the kid in a landfill. And they were wondering why they looked at the mother. Well, the mother was in the possession of the child last, so the mother would be a prime suspect. And you always look at the family first to rule them out. If it's an easy rule out, it's a way you start your investigation. Ruling out the family could have nothing to do with this, so as to be an external measure, something the purpose not connected to the family, then we move on to there. But it's always safe to rule the victim out first. Allegations are made constantly. Recently, I gave a fella a chance to explain himself to me. I did the background work on it, and he's 100% telling the truth. Somebody's running around YouTube, starting rumors that he was convicted of a said crime, and I asked him, and upon his response to me, I could tell he was telling the truth. So I made some inquiries, and I had a friend of a friend of a friend, never get the friend's name out of me, come up with the guy's record, and no, he was never convicted of it. So that man, every man, anybody, not man, woman, dog, or whatnot, should be able to clear their name. Not have people talk about them. Go with them with it. If you hear it, they're a friend of yours, confront them with it, and either let them explain it, accept it that they did and tell you they did it, or a chance to clear their name, because it's not good. People starting to spread rumors about a good man, a solid man, solid woman, a good woman. I mean, if you never confront them with these allegations, how can they clear themselves? And people are fucking fine running around the streets of YouTube just putting this bullshit out. I heard from so-and-so that they did this, and I heard from so-and-so they did that. Listen, Guy's a friend of mine. I stand behind him 150%. He's a good friend of mine. I know him from YouTube. I've met him in person multiple times. And I felt the right thing to do was to give him his day to make himself clear. And listen, he respects me for that. I respect him for that. The person who told me about it is not like, happy that he found out. But what was I supposed to let him around my family, not knowing his criminal back? No, fuck no. And he was more than happy to show me. More than happy to tell me. Well, when the lights get turned on, at the end of the night when the bar closes, you see what you're standing with. And it's the cold, hard truth. That's all it is. And for the person that started the rumor, what a fucking piece of shit you are. You really are. Rumor was started about me. That I was a disgraced cop and I was fired from the NYPD. After 21 years of service, I was fired early. It's kind of weird because retirement is 20 years in the NYPD. I did 21. Let's figure that one out. Look, 1998 to 2019. Well, 2018 would have been 20 years. 2019 to 21 years. So, kind of like I made it past retirement. And they said I was disgraced. I was fired. Well, I happen to have a letter, which other channels have shown, that I retired in good standing. And they said, Dutch, can I dox you? Can I put your real name out there? I'm like, fuck yeah. I put it on day one. I have nothing to fucking hide. Boom. And they put it out there. And they showed that I retired in good standing after 21 years of dedicated service. I gave this city 21 years of my fucking life. You know what? I'm happy I did it. You take the good with the bad. I mean, there were some bad days on the job. There definitely were. There were some days I was not happy the way things turned out. Verdicts that came down in court that I'm not happy to. Laws that had changed. Verdicts that had been overturned. Listen, you're not happy with every day of your life. There were going to be some sour days. Like when I got in my 21-year career, I've been sued 3 times for civil rights violations. Never found guilty of one. Never. 2 of them were blanket lawsuits for anybody that was on the TAC plan. Some people don't understand that. When you do a TAC plan, you're going to hit a search warrant. When it gets contested in court, everybody on the TAC plan, which is a list of people and what their jobs were for the day, can testify in court. So they're listed on the affidavit. But yet, no. I was found, my actions were indemnified by the department and by the city of New York. Means whatever I did, I was allowed to do. May have been extreme at the time, extreme thinking, but I was allowed to do it. One of those lawsuits, I take total responsibility for. Then it's still not settled in court because the guy died before it could be settled. So I just opened a lawsuit. But 3 in 21 years. Think about this. It's 1 lawsuit for every 7 years. Not too bad. Somebody thought they grabbed the golden egg and they ran out like holding a football, running for the touchdown. You should have read the fucking dispositions is what you should have did. Because that's everything. It don't matter how many pages are in front of that disposition. The way the court saw it, the way the court closed it out, that's what fucking counts. And listen, bumps, scrapes, bruises, I've had some of them in my career. Listen, it happened. I destroyed evidence by accident when I dropped the crack pipe on the floor because the glass and they break. Okay, listen, I'll take the day. I was late for work once. Actually, I was never late for work in 21 years. I was always early. I was late for court once when I left the base and went to court. I'll take the hit for that. Taking out my vacation time. But I was never hit more than that. It was an almost flawless career. I can actually say that. I mean, never been wrote off the disciplinary, disobeying an order or stuff like that. 3 losses. I mean, come on. That's the best you got? Come on. I actually met, well, not met, I ran into him on YouTube. Somebody who, when he found out I was a cop, like, oh, you're a jackboot? And after a while talking to him, I saw some of the shit he said was correct. I mean, there are guys that overreach. If I think you're dirty, I think you committed the crime, I'm going to use everything in my power to get an ID on you, to get a motive, to get how it was committed, what you did, what the thinking was behind it, and convict you in court. If you're guilty. If I find out you're innocent, by all means, your hand's off to me. I may never give you a second look, but there are times I've seen people, I gave them a pass, I had to come back on them, and they want to be in the perp. Not everybody's perfect. Listen, if I had the power to see the future, there'd be no murders in New York. I'd stop it before, like, little pre-crime, little Minority Report, Tom Cruise, right? Yeah. But, listen, back to the original point. Is it a threat? No. Is he transmitting something that may be a threat later on? Yeah. Will law enforcement use it to prosecute a crime? Law enforcement, not the district attorney. Law enforcement, the cops, the police department. Use it when they present to the district attorney their case in other open pending litigations they may have with this person. Like, if he threatens somebody else, they may bring that clip up. Yes, they may. They may. Because it shows a pattern of behavior. Listen. The President of the United States receives, let's say, 150, 250 death threats a day. And the Secret Service is keeping track of them. So if something happens to the President, the first people they're going to look at is all the threat. They have you identified. They haven't came to talk to you yet. They have you at least identified. And they will talk to you. They will rule it out. I mean, they'll use it as a tool in their investigation. Notice I've used no names. I haven't used the victim's name. I haven't used the fucking intended perp's name. No. This is not. I'm not doing him a favor. I'm not clearing him of it. Listen. Is it illegal? No. No. You're lucky I didn't go to his house. Well, it's already passed. He's not going to do it. He showed he's not going to do it. Does it cause concern? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do everything I could to retract that statement if I had other pending litigation going on with law enforcement. Like other open cases. Absolutely. And everything comes into play. Character witnesses come into play. You know, all this gets into play. Like, you're on YouTube raging a one person's war on the entire community. They will call people in from the community. If they're going to prove their case, they might call somebody in from Alaska, California, New York City. New York City, yeah. Yeah, they would. And you'd fly up to wherever the fuck it is, on whoever dime it is. You get your fucking stipend for the day. You eat, you drink, you testify the next morning. Boom, you're on a plane going home. And that's it. That's all you got. But, folks, I don't mind getting these emails. I don't mind answering these emails. To the person involved, it's not a strike against you. It's not me striking at it. I'm not starting a war with you. I want to make sure that it's very clear. Because I've watched your show and, you know, I think your editing skills and your graphics are fucking awesome. Some music choice is fucking awesome. I just think the topic and the internal struggle you got going on is something you got to handle on yourself. But, folks, I'm Dutch Doyle. These are my discussions. I hope I educated you just a little bit on the penal law and a threat and what is just harassment and blowing off steam or whatnot. Listen, if somebody tells you to stop, it's time to stop. You don't know what kind of mental condition they're having or they're in. You know, you may tell somebody something, they may go fucking off themselves, and are you complicit in their fucking suicide? I don't know. It's been some time since I've actually been in law enforcement. It's been three and a half years. Actually, it's coming up to 4 years in February. But that's all I'm saying, folks. I'm not saying be kind to each other, be nice to each other. I'm just giving you what the law says. That's it. That's it. It's over. I want you folks to enjoy your fucking weekend. Hopefully I'm back on next weekend if my back doesn't hurt. We'll see. Maybe live on Wednesday. We'll see. Anyway, happy Halloween. I'll come on Halloween with a special. Might call it the Andre Rand killings. He was a serial murderer in New York, Staten Island. Remember, I'm from Brooklyn. I moved out to Staten Island. He murdered kids who had mental disabilities, handicaps, autism and stuff like that. All focuses around the Willow Grove Mental Institute. They did a documentary on this called Cropsy. Great documentary. Go check it out. It's on Netflix. Folks, like I said, I want you to enjoy your fucking weekend and happy fucking Halloween. Later! By the way, folks, Uncle Artie's Bar and Grill Stupidity had his channel taken away from him for a colorful, I'm going to use the word colorful, thumbnail on one of his videos. So they give him a strike on his channel and took it away from him. Please, he's got a new channel up. Please go share, like, and subscribe. Right now I'm going to put up a list of other channels I want you to subscribe to. Give them a look. You don't have to subscribe to them, but give them a look, alright? Later.
Over 250,000 men and women in Los Angeles live on the streets. Many of them have mental and physical disabilities, as well as substance abuse problems. These people do not receive the public benefits to which they are entitled. There's something else they don't receive. Handjobs. Being on the streets means you don't have the privacy to pursue intimate relations, or the resources to pay for a rub and tug.
When I get lonely and horny, I like it when my dick is rubbed.
I like when ladies rub my dick.
I like when ladies rub my dick.
Just helping one person will make you feel like you're helping the whole world.
So please, this Halloween, lend a helping hand.
By the way, did anybody see the Godzilla behind the beautiful girl in the middle of the video? Just checking on you.